Part 1. I worked overtime for months to save a failing project that could have cost our company millions, but when we got industry recognition, my boss took all the credit and acted like I was just another team member who helped out. I never thought I'd be writing about workplace drama, but what happened to me at my company has left me so angry and hurt that I need to get this story out. I put everything into saving a project that was about to fail, and when it succeeded beyond everyone's expectations, my boss stole all the credit and left me completely invisible. I'm 29 and work as a software developer at a mid-sized tech company. I've been there for 4 years and have always been a reliable team player who gets good performance reviews. I'm not the type to cause drama or complain about work, but what my boss did to me crossed every line of basic fairness and respect. 6 months ago, our company was working on a major software project for a huge client that would have been our biggest contract ever. The project was worth about $3 million to our company and could have led to even bigger opportunities if we delivered something impressive. My boss David was the official project manager, but he'd been struggling to coordinate the different teams and keep everything on track. The project was complex and involved multiple departments, and David seemed overwhelmed by the scope and technical requirements. About 3 months into the project, it became clear that we were in serious trouble. We were behind schedule, the code was full of bugs, and the client was getting frustrated with our progress reports. David was panicking because he knew this failure could hurt his career and our company's reputation. That's when David asked me to step in and help get the project back on track. He said he needed someone with my technical skills and attention to detail to figure out what was going wrong and fix the problems before we lost the client completely. I agreed to help because I cared about our company's success and didn't want to see us lose such an important client. I also thought that taking on more responsibility might lead to career advancement opportunities if I could prove myself on a high-stakes project. What I didn't realize was that helping David would mean basically taking over the entire project while he continued to get credit as the official manager. I ended up working 60-80 hours a week for the next 3 months, completely rebuilding systems that weren't working and coordinating between teams that had been working against each other. I spent countless nights at the office debugging code, rewriting entire sections of the software and testing every feature until it worked perfectly. I coordinated with the design team, the database team, and the client services team to make sure everyone was working toward the same goals. I also took over most of the client communication, because David wasn't technical enough to answer their detailed questions about the software's capabilities. I spent hours on calls with the client explaining how different features would work, and getting their feedback on improvements. The project became my life for those 3 months. I canceled social plans, worked through weekends, and barely saw my girlfriend because I was so focused on making the software perfect. I knew the client's expectations were high, and that failure wasn't an option. David was still the official project manager, but he mostly just attended meetings where I'd present my progress and updates. He'd nod along and agree with my recommendations, but he wasn't doing any of the actual technical work or problem solving. When team members had questions or problems, they started coming to me directly instead of going through David. I became the person everyone looked to for answers and decisions, even though David was still officially in charge. The turning point came when I discovered a major security flaw in the original code that could have exposed the client's sensitive data. I spent 2 weeks completely rebuilding that section of the software to eliminate the vulnerability and add better security features. If I hadn't found and fixed that security issue, the client could have faced serious data breaches that would have resulted in lawsuits and regulatory problems. My work didn't just save our project, it potentially saved our client from millions in damages. After fixing the security problem, I also added several features that the client hadn't originally requested but that I knew would make the software more valuable to them. I created detailed documentation and training materials so they could get the most out of their new system. When we finally delivered the completed software, the client was amazed by what we'd created. They said it exceeded their expectations in every way, and that they were excited to implement it across their entire organization. They even mentioned wanting to work with us on future projects. The project was such a success that our company started getting recognition from industry publications and tech blogs. Articles were written about our innovative approach and technical excellence. We were invited to speak at conferences about the solutions we'd developed. Our CEO was thrilled about the positive attention and the new business opportunities that were coming from the project's success. The client had already referred us to 2 other companies, and we were getting inquiries from potential clients who'd heard about our work. I was proud of what I'd accomplished and excited about how this success might advance my career. I'd proven that I could handle major responsibilities and deliver exceptional results under pressure. I thought this would be my breakthrough moment at the company. But when the recognition and praise started coming in, David made sure his name was on everything while leaving me completely invisible. In every article, interview and presentation about the project, David was presented as the mastermind who'd led the team to success. David was quoted in industry publications talking about his innovative solutions and his approach to managing complex projects. He spoke at conferences about the technical decisions he'd supposedly made and the leadership strategies he'd used to motivate the team. When our company's website featured a case study about the successful project, David was the only person interviewed about the work. The article made it sound like he'd personally developed all the solutions and managed every aspect of the project from start to finish. Most painfully, when our company won an industry award for the project, David accepted the recognition on behalf of the team, but never mentioned my name or contributions in his acceptance speech. He thanked the company leadership and made generic comments about teamwork, but I was completely erased from the story. I watched from the audience as David received applause and congratulations for work that I'd done, feeling like I was witnessing someone steal my identity and accomplishments. The person on stage taking credit bore no resemblance to the overwhelmed manager I'd had to rescue from a failing project.